threaded strong steel cables through them and up to the pontoons on the surface. In 1959, everything was ready for the first lift, and the Vasa hung free on her wire cradle. Thousands of holes left by rusted bolts had to be plugged, and new hatches fitted to the gun ports before she could float again. Monday, the 24th of April, 1961, was the great day. After 333 years, the Vasa would emerge from the sea. Thousands of people watched and millions more followed the saga on radio and TV in Sweden and abroad. Nothing seemed to happen, when suddenly a bit of a mast and a section of bulwark appeared above the waves. Soon, enough of the Vasa was above the water for Per Edvin Felting and Anders Franzén to board her. Pumps strained to empty the ship of water and mud to lighten her. The archaeologists now moved in. A marine excavation of this size on such an old ship was unprecedented anywhere in the world. One day, a full choir of angels emerged, sculptures from a sumptuous cabin fitted out like royal apartments. There would be over 40,000 finds in total by the end. The Vasa was towed past the site of her sinking, just 100 meters off Beckholmen. As majestically as in the 17th century, she glided into the dock with a slight list. King Gustav II Adolf had never seen her in her finished building, but his successor, King Gustav VI Adolf, himself an expert in archaeology, admired her faded beauty. As she stands in dry dock, the Vasa is impressive. Even with the stern castle gone, she is as high as a 4-story building. The interior of the ship opened a whole new world to historians. The Vasa contained a complete 17th century society, unique in the world. A time capsule where everything was unchanged from that fateful afternoon in August 1628. The sculptures had survived their immersion well and were placed in huge vats of water awaiting restoration. The hull of the Vasa had to be constantly sprayed with water to prevent the wood drying out. The Vasa sank rapidly in just a few minutes. A ladder came away as Admiral Erik Jönsson Kramer tried to reach the upper deck. A ring, the sole goal object to come to light, was found on the orlop deck. Did the Admiral lose it as he tried to save himself in the final minutes? But many below deck had no chance as the Vasa sank. This sailor was trapped under a cannon. brackish water low in oxygen and the mud have preserved his clothing, and his shoes were still on his feet. Even his hair and brain were preserved in the cold depths. Parts of 15 skeletons have been recovered, allowing scientists to establish what they ate and what illnesses the seamen suffered from. This bronze brazier, found at the lowest part of the hull, kept the officers' food warm. These expensive objects were manufactured in Germany. During the hearing by the council, the interrogating officer wondered whether the cannons had not been properly secured. He was wrong. They had been. All the gun carriages were still in place on the lower decks. The cannons had not caused the ship to capsize. She was just too high and too narrow in the beam, with too little weight in the stone ballast below the waterline. Painstaking work of preserving the hull for posterity began. For more than 17 years until 1979, the Vasa was sprayed with polyethylene glycol, as is found in lipsticks and skin cream, to replace the water in the wood. The Vasa is one of the largest objects ever conserved. She has been called the world's biggest jigsaw puzzle, and to find out where all the loose parts had fitted, the museum's carpenters threaded steel wire through the old nail holes. If they lined up, a new piece of the puzzle had fallen into place. Down in the hold, the 17th century still lies undisturbed. The skill of the shipwrights who joined these massive timbers and the stout planking can still be admired. Vasa's sides are almost 60 centimeters thick to withstand the enemy's shot. Right forward, the thick anchor cable was attached. In the stern castle, everything fitted perfectly. Many of the Vasa's blocks, deadeyes, and the top survived. And these have been used with 4 kilometers of new rope for shrouds and stays when the ship was re-rigged. The Vasa is unique. No other ship of this size and age has been preserved anywhere in the world, and she is 98% original. The 18-meter-high transom is covered in sculptures, a unique art treasure. A truly impressive ship designed to strike fear into the enemy. The German artist Morten Rittmer and his assistants carved more than 700 sculptures. mouth still shows its red paint. The whole ship was to gleam in gold and bright colours, as fashion dictated in the 17th century. How long will we have the Vasa? Not forever. But everything possible is being done to preserve this old ship for as long as possible. This includes reducing the rust that has penetrated the wood. The old temporary iron bolts are being replaced by new ones in stainless steel. A task that will take many years. It is quite a thought that if this floating palace had only sailed well, we would not have her today.